Hey guys, Bird Yugioh here, coming at you with another deck profile. Today is going to be Spyral. This version that I'm doing here is kind of more leans towards going second, but it definitely can go first still and do some decent boards. I will probably end up doing multiple versions of this. This is actually more of a nightmare Spyral version that does go into the nightmares a lot. Like I said, especially going second. But yeah, obviously got hindered a little bit with losing Master Plan, and which really affects its combo and just crazy board making ability. But it still is fun, still can do some cool stuff. So we'll get right into this one. Starting off with one of our better monsters, Spyral Super Agent. Want to play 3 of him always. If it's in your hand, you just declare one card type, monster, spell, or trap, reveal the top card of your opponent's deck, and if you do, you special summon this. And if this card is special summoned by the effect of a Spyral card, you can target one spell and trap your opponent controls and destroy it. So it's an amazing card, really, really good. And actually, it's now that we have 3 drone back, you're going to be able to get Super Agent out just a lot more consistently, because what drone does is when it's normal or special summoned, you look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck and place them in any order. So if you normal summon him, you'll be able to sort the order of your opponent's deck and then easily be able to just special summon out Super Agent because you know the top card. So that right there, opening up these 2 cards is now more possible than ever, and it's your best way of getting into double helix. So that was really nice coming off the ban list. Obviously losing Master Plan sucked, but then gaining this was pretty awesome. We also play 3 Spyral Tough. His name becomes Spyral Super Agent, which comes up for some effects, like with Quick Fix and stuff like that. But once per turn, you can declare one card name, one card type, monster, spell, or trap, target one card your opponent controls, reveal the top card, and if it's correct, then you destroy the targeted card. So this is, again, another way if you open him with your Super Agent, going second, obviously, because your opponent has to have some cards. You can normal summon him. You'll see the top card regardless. Hopefully get a pop of a card still, and then you'll be able to special summon Super Agent because you know that top card again. So again, this is leaning towards going second. I'm not going to say this is a going second version, but it leans towards going second, and so Spyral Tough is really good. And then we also, you might be surprised at this, playing 3 Spyral Sleeper. Now without Master Plan, like I said, your combos are just really not as good, not as crazy. So your second best plan of action is to get, 1 or 2 Spyral Sleepers on the board. Hopefully protected by a last resort. But this becomes now one of your best win conditions and just one of your best boss monsters. So now I might lower it down, but right now I'm really liking it at 3. You special summon it by just banishing 3 Spyral cards from your graveyard. So it doesn't have to be just monster cards. It could be some of your spells, traps, whatever you got. And it's really good. It's your interruption on your opponent's turn. It's your high attack power. It's got 2800 attack. It's I found just a really nice card now. And then I mentioned it, but we play 2 Last Resort. I like 2. Some people play 1, but it's good to see in your hand because equipping it obviously to a sleeper is your best plan of action. But if you can also equip it to a Spyral Tough or a Super Agent, and even that is pretty good against some decks because the card that this is equipped to cannot be destroyed by battle card effects or targeted with card effects. So there's not many ways of getting past whatever monster this is equipped to. So, and the last Spyral card is just one Quick Fix. It's the best Spyral card. That's why it's still at 1. It's probably going to stay at 1. I would think. That would be awesome if it came to 2 or 3. I believe actually in the OCG they have it at 2. But if this card is normal or special summoned, you can just add 1 Spyral Gear card from your deck to your hand. So that could be Drone. and it could be some of your spells that I'll show you later too. If this card is in your graveyard and you have a Spyral Super Agent, so that could be Tough, that could be Super Agent, and it could also be Double Helix. You can discard one card and special summon this card. So you'll get its effects off multiple times, hopefully. You hopefully, special summon it off of Double Helix if you want to. It's an amazing card. It's a level 1 as well, so you'll be able to easily get it on the board, back into the graveyard pretty easily. So it's an amazing, amazing card. And then since we're playing Spirals, it's only appropriate to play some hand traps. So we're playing 3 Ash Blossom. It's your most standard, kind of just good against any deck. And then we're also playing 2 DD Crow. Currently right now, this is a very good hand trap. And we have an easy way of searching it with our Lyric Recital Starling. You just need your 2 level 1s to make this, and then add a DD Crow to hand. So that's sometimes good to do. If you know you're playing against a deck that just, what most decks do, are trying to get some graveyard effects, and just do stuff with the graveyard, basically. This will banish a card from your opponent's graveyard, so that's really nice. That is it for the monsters. For the spells, 1 Resort. It's only at 1. Again, this is a crazy card. I don't foresee this coming off the ban list anytime soon. But it's a field spell, and your opponent cannot target other Spyral cards you control with card effects, except for obviously this one. And then once per turn, you can add 1 Spyral monster from your deck to your hand. And then during your end phase, you have to shuffle 1 monster from your graveyard into the deck, or you have to destroy this card. So usually you're just going to recycle back, a useful card that you want to see, like a drone or Super Agent, whatever you got. But yeah, absolutely amazing card. And then in this version, playing 3 Big Red. I feel it's just so important to see this card in all of your opening hands. You're just going to target 1 Spyral in your graveyard and special summon it. You'll equip it with this card. It's an equipped spell card. It cannot be destroyed by battle. So that comes up, but mainly it's just your way of special summoning a free monster from the graveyard and just extending your plays a little bit. Without Master Plan, without being able to add, like your Spyral Mission Rescue, it's not as easy to special summon from the grave now. So I felt adding 3 Big Red was just super important. And then one of our Spyral missions is Assault. The only reason we're playing this is to send it to the graveyard, and then you can banish this from your graveyard and special summon a Spyral from your hand. So it's your way of, easily special summoning out like a quick fix from hand, which is absolutely amazing. Or any Spyral card, basically, Spyral monster. And so one way of doing that is with Foolish Burial Goods. Play 3 of it. Yes, it is only once per turn, but it is super important to see this as quickly as you can. We have a few targets that we can send there. Mission Assault is one of them, and I'll show you a few others later. Another card that I'm really liking is 3 Double Summon. Again, we just don't have as many ways of special summoning from the graveyard and whatnot. So Double Summon is just really nice. If you open up Drone Tough, you have no way of getting 2 monsters on the board. But now if you have Double Summon, then you do. You got a way of seeing the top card or sorting their deck, summoning this again, and then going to Double Helix, still knowing their top card, and just going off from there. So yeah, I definitely found Double Summon is just really helpful now. And then we play also 2 Called by the Grave. In the rare moments that we are really going into some crazy combos, you definitely want to see a Called by the Grave. And it also, you definitely don't want your Double Helix getting ashed. So Called by the Grave is definitely necessary. And then we play a bunch of powerful one-ofs. Terraforming to search out your amazing field spell. 1 for 1. For getting to, mostly it's going to be your quick fix as easily as you can. That card's absolutely amazing. Pretty much still even without master plan. If you resolve this, you're going to be setting up a pretty awesome board. So 1 card destruction fixes your hands and just gets some, potentially like some Spyral mission cards to the graveyard. It can potentially just be a crazy, crazy good card. 1 reinforcement of the army to search your Spyral Tough or Spyral Super Agent. 1 Metal Foes Fusion. This is one of your draw power cards. You send this with Foolish Burial Goods, and then you can shuffle this into the deck and then draw a card if it's in your graveyard. So that's one of your draw powers, and then your other draw power is going to be Upstart Goblin. You unfortunately can't, in a deck like this, play Pot of Desires, mostly because Quick Fix is such an important card that you can't risk banishing it. Same with Resort. Resort and Quick Fix, you can't risk banishing those. So that's your draw power. It's not bad. And then we're down to just 1 Spyral Mission Rescue. There's no need to really play more than 1. We've kind of replaced the second one, maybe even the third one, with Big Red. Just because you don't have easy access to this, so usually you're just wanting to be sending this off of Foolish Burial Goods, but if you happen to draw it, you have many ways of getting it to the graveyard by discarding with a lot of different card effects. So that is the main deck. Definitely stick with 40. It's a deck where you want to see as many of your one-ofs as you can. For the extra deck, it's a little pricey, but I will give you some cheaper options for a few of the cards that we get to. We are playing 2 Double Helix. I rarely go into more than 1, but you definitely want that second one. It's such a powerful card. It just requires 2 Spyral monsters. His name becomes Spyral Super Agent while he's on the field or in the graveyard. You just declare monster, spell, or trap, and if it matches the top card of your opponent's deck, which most of the time you'll know it by the time you get to him, you can then either take a Spyral monster from your deck and add it to your hand, or special summon it to a zone this card points to. So a really good way of getting to your Quick Fix, or like your Sleeper. Used to be a really good way of getting to Master Plan, but now we can't do that, so you definitely still have some really good options for cards to special summon off of him. And then we play the Nightmares still. They're still very, very good. 1 Nightmare Cerberus to destroy monsters and to discard. This is your way of discarding, like that rescue if you happen to draw it. Phoenix to destroy spell and traps. Unicorn to shuffle 1 card on the field into the deck. I say that because it's not always going to be your opponent's card you want to shuffle in. Sometimes it will be Resort. Not as good anymore, but if you have a way of, drawing and stuff like that, sometimes you want to get off the field, but honestly, I'd recommend not using Unicorn on your own Resort anymore. You'd rather the protection from this. But yeah, Unicorn is obviously really good. And then we do also play the Griffin, just for another way of locking out in case you have to go first. This, along with another Nightmare, is decent because special summon monsters on the field cannot activate their effects unless they're linked. So that could potentially be problematic for your opponent. Play a Link Karibo. You play we have 4 level 1s now. Mostly you're going to be using this to get Quick Fix to the grave, but it's still a necessary card. Barricade Board Blocker. It's a way of protecting your Spyral Resort field spell, and also it's a way of discarding a card that you have in your hand that you need in the graveyard. And then here's a couple of the expensive cards. Union Carrier. You can do some cool stuff with it. And then IP Masquerena is probably your best, turn 1 board that you can end on is with IP Masquerena. But if you don't want to play these 2 cards, you definitely don't have to. They're not necessary. I would suggest maybe playing like a Ningirsu, a Topologic Trisbania, Topologic Bomber. All of these are pretty cheap. So play these if you don't want to play IP Masquerena or Union Carrier. these are still definitely great options. So consider those. And then our last link we play is a Trigate Wizard. He's not as easy to get out, but you definitely can have. You have quite a few, like Barricade Board Blocker, Union Carrier that are pointing left and right, your Nightmares that are pointing left and right. So, him, and then at the top, it'll usually be like a Nightmare Unicorn or a Linkuriboh pointing down to him. So you have ways of making him live, and he is very, very good still. Pretty much still, if you have Trigate Wizard and a Spyral Sleeper on board, you're sitting pretty good. There's not much your opponent's going to be doing to break that board anytime soon. And then we do play 4 Xyz monsters. We play a rank 1 Princess Sprite. This card is good because you can excavate top card of your deck. If it's a spell or trap, you add it to your hand. So potentially that could be a really, really strong card. If it's not, you send it to the graveyard. So that's, again, another way of maybe getting like a quick fix to the grave. But yeah, that is a very decent card to make with your level 1s if you got 2 of them. The other one I mentioned is your Recital Starling. You're going to be, when it's Xyz summoned, you just target 1 face-up monster on the field. It gains 300 attack for each material. So it'll be 600 attack going to a monster that you have on board. And then also you're going to be detaching 1, and then you can add a DD Crow for free. So it's a nice card. And then our rank 4s, Dugaris. This is yet another way. You draw 2 cards, and then you can discard a card. So again, it's really good draw power, and discarding a card. You could also use its other effect, where you can special summon 1 card from the graveyard in defense position. And then it's also got another one where you can double the attack of 1 monster you control. So just, again, 3 really good effects that could help you out in any case. And then the last card we play is a Baguska, because sometimes you just open up, like, I don't know, a Tough and a Super Agent, and you just need to sit on that until you get to some of your power cards. It's still a good card. So that is the deck, guys. Hope you liked it. Spirals, it's a deck that I mentioned at the beginning, but I'll probably be trying to do some more updates to it, give you some different versions of it. But this is what I'm currently playing. Really liking it. It's still pretty dang powerful. Does some cool stuff. So yeah, if you guys haven't already, go and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.